you were talking about.
Acha, so Quaid-e-Azam came at that time on the political horizon of India, and he had a very good past experience in Indian politics. He was the first Indian member of Imperial Legislative Council who had passed some bills as a private member of India. He was the only person, and he was the first person who got his bills passed in Imperial Legislative Council
In which year, sir?
in 1909, when he became the member of Imperial Legislative Council from Bombay Presidency.
Right.
So he contributed much. So he was acceptable to all, and he at that time he was also the member of Indian National Congress. So when Quaid-e-Azam came, he said that I will join you, I will lead you, I will guide you, but you need to change your constitution. So in 1913, the constitution of Muslim League was changed, and the clause or the point of Muslims will remain loyal to the Britishers was excluded, and the point was added. Now Muslim League will work hard in order to bring a
Safe government.
no, in order to bring together Hindus and Muslims of India, and in order to fill the gap that has been created. So during that year, with the collective efforts of Quaid-e-Azam, in 1915 in Bombay, both had their sessions where they agreed that upcoming year we will sit together and we will come about with certain formulas. So in 1916 they met together. Their meeting in history is known as Lucknow Pact. So they come about a conclusion, and at that time, there was another person who came on political horizon of India. That is Mohandas Karamchand Gandhi. He was back in South Africa at the time, but he had, for the very first time, met with Quaid-e-Azam Muhammad Ali Jinnah, and he was a religious person, a very simple person in outlook, a very religious person in his personality. So they met together, and whatever the demands of Muslim leagues were at the time, Quaid-e-Azam got all those points accepted. Separate electorate, first it was rejected, Quaid-e-Azam said, and it was accepted. Hindus said that you are 25 in number and you are demanding 35 number of seats. Quaid-e-Azam discussed this and they accepted it. And everything they demanded, and they said, okay, we are agree with that. But Muslims of India compromised on two things. First, in Bengal, and second in Punjab. They were in majority. They said that okay, we will compromise in some sort of seats, and we will demand or we will get somehow the lowest seats, minimum seats with that of their in terms of their population in the provinces. That is known as weightage formula.
British.
So that thing was not liked by Punjabis because they said that Quaid-e-Azam has not done this well, and he did not get us into consideration. But so at that time, this is therefore Quaid-e-Azam was given the title of Hindu ambassador of Hindu Muslim unity by Sarojini Naidu. After then, World War started in 1918, and it lasted up to 1914 to 1918.
14, yes.
During this time, Ottoman Empire, which was against UK at the time, okay, so Ottoman Empire lost the war, and of course it was clear now British government is going to divide it. So they divided it. Muslims of India had demanded that we will participate in World War One for the cause of Britishers on one condition, that they will not curtail the sanctity of pious places, Makkah Mukarrama and Medina Munwara and Masjid al-Aqsa and every other thing, and the caliphate will not be abolished. So they come to know that they are going to abolish the caliphate, so they started a movement that is known as Khilafat movement. It lasted for 5 years, 1919 to 1924, but unfortunately मुस्तफ़ा कमाल अतातुर्क abolished it. अब जिस चीज़ के लिए आप खुद रो रहे हैं वो उन्होंने ही ख़त्म कर दी, तो what else could you do? So you had no other option left for you.
Yes, yes.
So it was a futile and a failure movement. But इसके जो असरात थे वो बहुत ज़्यादा थे. It made aware Muslims of India. They come to know unity is power, and they came to know that unity is strength, and what to do, how to do protest, and how to do demonstration, and how to do street politics. And the second time they come to know that Congress could put a step in your way, क्योंकि गांधी ने उनको कहा कि नॉन कॉपरेशन मूवमेंट में हम शामिल हैं. जब उन्होंने देखा, एंड ही जस्ट ऑल ऑफ अ सडन उन्होंने कहा कि हम आपके साथ नहीं. चौड़ा चौड़ी इंसिडेंट के बाद, so this reveals the attitude of Congress towards Muslim. 1927 में ये हुआ कि Quaid-e-Azam said that आज सारे जो मुस्लिम्स हैं वो हमारे पास आ जाएं, मतलब जो भी थे इंपीरियल लेजिस्लेटिव काउंसिल और एग्जीक्यूटिव काउंसिल के मेंबर्स. He got them together in 1927 in Delhi, or they said that now these are the particular things we demand, which is known in history as Delhi Muslim proposals. This was a collective wisdom. I think I would rather call it collective wisdom of Quaid-e-Azam. But those were rejected. And Nehru said that now we have certain number of things that we demand, and that in history is known as Nehru report. In reply to that, Quaid-e-Azam had given his 14 points. So now coming to that, what were the those points which were very much important? Nehru said since should be separated from Mumbai. Quaid-e-Azam said what is the difference? Nehru said that we will look into the member financial matters of Sindh. If it could sustain, then we could separate Sindh from Mumbai. On the other hand, Quaid-e-Azam said that Sindh should be separated from Bombay with immediate effect. This is the difference. Second thing is that Nehru said that reforms will be introduced in NWFP. Quaid-e-Azam also demanded that. Nehru said that basic reforms will be introduced. Means basic health facilities, education facilities will be given to the people. Quaid-e-Azam said no, political reforms should be included. It means political government should be made in WP. And he also
autonomy.
exactly he also demanded Balochistan reforms in Balochistan. And Nehru also said that we will guarantee provincial autonomy. And Quaid-e-Azam also said, but Nehru's provincial autonomy, he said that we will give relative provincial autonomy in some matters. On the relative means you will be giving an authority in some of the matters, and the rest of the matters will be taken into consideration or custody or in action by central government. Quaid-e-Azam said no, demands जो भी है हमारी जो provincial autonomy, that should be granted an absolute, मतलब absolute provincial autonomy should be granted to the provinces. And there were certain other things as well that you have learned together, so you could get an insight into that. Acha, those were rejected. Then Quaid-e-Azam said, this is the parting of the ways. We are demanding, you are not accepting. We are demanding, you are not accepting. We are putting forward certain demands. We are making a compromise, but you are going for confrontation. Then that's okay. During this very time, then roundtable conferences were called, and here in 1930, the session of Muslim League was to be arranged, and Quaid-e-Azam was not there, and the core leadership of Muslim League was also there in first roundtable conference. So they called another person to preside over the session, and that was a poet, Alama, जो शायर मशरिक अलामा मोहम्मद इकबाल. So शायर तो शायर है. He said that I have a dream, I want to see amalgamated the northwestern province, the Punjab, the Sindh and Balochistan into a single state, into India or out of India. So it was his dream. Quaid-e-Azam said that, you are a poet. Why are you going for such dreams? आप शायरी करें, आपका इन चीज़ों से काम नहीं. Quaid-e-Azam had rejected this idea. Then in 1933, Chaudhry Rahmat Ali suggested some names. पे आपका जो है सो आ जाता है पंजाब, ठीक है. ए पे आपका अफगानिस्तान, के पे कश्मीर, एंड टी इन ये बलूचिस्तान. सो ही मेड अ नेम पाकिस्तान. नो वन एक्सेप्टेड इट. Then 1935 Act was introduced in India, but you know very well, so we are not going deep into that. Then elections were held. So Muslim League hardly won 20% of seats, Muslim reserve seats. So 20% of the seats. So they did not form their government, and Congress was successful in making his government in 8 provinces out of 11. You know the names of all the provinces: UP, CP, Bihar, Bombay, Madras, and Odisha. These were Hindu majority provinces. On the other hand, Muslim League also became successful in forming government in NWFP with an alliance to Khudai Khidmatgar of Bacha Khan, and it also formed in government in Assam as well. But in Sindh, it was the party of Sindh United Party which led the government. In Punjab, it was Unionist Party, and in Bengal, it was Kisan Party. So this is what about the election. After the elections, whatever they did, the atrocities they committed are inflicted upon the Muslims of India. This is very crystal clear. They made tilak as compulsory. To bow down before the picture of Gandhi was compulsory. They abolished quota system, and Muslims got benefited from it. And they introduced Vardha scheme, Vidya Mandir scheme. So this has a very negative impact on Muslims. So they said that now this is over, and now we want nothing but Pakistan. And in 1940, Quaid-e-Azam said that the idea of separate Muslim homeland for Muslims of India seems to be an ultimate solution for the Muslim problem of India, Muslims of India. So he said that now we want nothing but Pakistan. So in 1940, the politics of Muslim League changed from compromise to confrontation, from compensation to fierce conflagration, and they said now we will go to any extent to get Pakistan as a separate homeland for Muslims of India. So Gandhi said that launched a movement that is known as Quit India movement. So Quaid-e-Azam said that no, first divide then quit. That movement was launched. So it was a decisive time. British was about to go. World War II was going on, and during that time Gandhi met with Jinnah in Bombay. And in Larry Collins has written in his book Freedom at Midnight that Gandhi had come to Jinnah, and Gandhi said him that I'm giving you a blank check. Whatever you write, I will get it approved from the leadership of Congress. But please do not demand a separate homeland in Pakistan. So Quaid-e-Azam said, I'm giving you certain demands if you can. So, Bahral, those demands were rejected by Congress, and Gandhi said that मेरी बात नहीं मान रहे. So Quaid-e-Azam said him that you used to say cut me into two before you cut India. Gandhi had said that cut me into two before you cut India, but Pakistan was cut. He did nothing. So in 1945, Shimla conferences were held, but it paved no fruit. Then 1946, cabinet mission plan was launched in which it was suggested that India should be divided into three zones: A zone, B zone, and C zone. And see if you can live together for 10 years, then that is okay. अगर आप में से किसी भी फिर फ्रांस को 10 सालों के बाद लगे कि that you cannot live together, तो आप हो चाहें तो आप अलग हो सकते हैं. तो ये चीज़ यहाँ पे हुई. बहरहाल दोनों ने रिजेक्ट किया, फिर मुस्लिम लीग ने उस चीज़ को एक्सेप्ट किया, बट जो ब्रिटिश गवर्नमेंट थी इट डिड नॉट अलाउ मुस्लिम लीग टू मेक इट इट्स गवर्नमेंट. तो ये भी एक बहुत बड़ी प्रॉब्लम हुआ. ड्यूरिंग दिस वेरी टाइम लॉर्ड माउंटबेटन केम एज द लास्ट वाइसरॉय ऑफ इंडिया, and he announced that how we are going to partition India, and that idea जो उन्होंने कहा कि कैसे partition करेंगे, that in history is known as third June plan, that how you are going to cut India. So they said that it will be the decision of division will be taken by the Punjab Assembly and by Bengal Assembly, whether they want to become part of Pakistan, want to become part of India, or either they want to divide Punjab and Bengal. So both the assemblies decided that they will divide Bengal and Punjab. Sindh Assembly took a decision in favor of Pakistan. Shahi Jirga were called in Balochistan, and they supported Pakistan. And a referendum was held in NWP in which Khudai Khidmatgar had boycotted the referendum, but ultimately 51 or 52% of votes were in favor of Pakistan, so NWP became part of Pakistan. So another province, district of Assam, Sylhet, there was a referendum in Sylhet, and they casted vote in favor of joining Bengal, East Pakistan at the time. So this is all about the journey that lasted till 1947, and it was not thought, it was not believed that a massive migration will took place, a massive massacre will took place, and almost 1,20,000 people, I think 2 million people died, and almost 20 million people migrated from either places, either from India to Pakistan or India to Pakistan to India. So they women got raped, they were brutally killed, people were murdered, there was an infanticide, and there was a looting, and it lasted for 3 to 4 months. And the world witnessed a massive massacre of millions of people, and we don't know that 20 million people got vanished. I don't know, or no one knows that where they went, whether they were brutally murdered, were raped, or sold, or tortured, were put into ashes. We don't know. But ultimately, the journey of getting a separate homeland became a truth, and we got Pakistan as a separate homeland in 1947 on 14th of August. So this speaks volumes about the leadership skills of Quaid-e-Azam Muhammad Ali Jinnah, a person who was never put behind the bar, got a separate homeland. तारीख में ऐसा कभी पे भी मिसाल नहीं मिलता कि एक बंदे ने मुल्क बना लिया and that person was never went into prison. He was a constitutionalist in his attitude. He was a statesman in his politics. He was leader in his words, and he was a speechless person whenever he found anyone rubbish in front of him. And Quaid-e-Azam used to say, this is my favorite quotation as well, think 100 of times before you take a decision. But once you have taken that decision, stand by it like a man. So this is all about our discussion. I hope so this became very much fruitful
Right, sir.
for you.
Inshallah, it will bear fruits. Sir.